What's up guys, it's Daz here. But you don't really care, as it's time to go back to making Pikmin videos. Well, at least one for right now. Yup, it's the top 10 Pikmin bosses. Now I think I'll be rating them through how memorable they are, or at least to me. So if you have other creatures you'd put into the list, feel free to comment them yourself. Of course, there will be spoilers, so you've been warned. Now, enough of this intro, let's go. Number 10 is the giant bread bug. I mean, come on, it has its own freaking theme! In Pikmin 2, this is kinda rare. The giant bread bug is not necessarily hard to defeat, however I personally find it humorous and it does have quite a unique battle sequence. Instead of simply throwing the Pikmin until it dies by being battered to death, you have to be a little bit smarter. Throwing Pikmin simply bounces them back off again, so instead you have to grab the treasures it's collecting and play a good old tug of war. And in this corner we have 4 yellows and the other corner the big bad bread bug buddy. And what's this? A fellow purple Pikmin has joined the scrap and the crowd is roaring. This, my friends, is something we will never see again for 9 years. See what I mean? Humorous and memorable. Number 9 is the armored cannon beetle. Imagine yourself on this massive planet fighting off funky chicken-legged ladybirds and clams. By now it's been, what, a week? You must be used to the generic attack of being munched, so you've learnt to whistle away before disaster strikes. But then, you come to this new area, and whoa, a boulder! I wasn't trained for this! How do you fight being crushed? What do I do? What do I do? This guy from Pikmin 1 instantly forces you to change your tactic of fighting. You can't just rush into the fight, you need to be tactical. You're scared, he's unpredictable, he could fire at any moment, but then, nowhere you throw does damage. That's because you have to stare death in the face to defeat it. See that dot on what would be his forehead? That's your target. You have to line yourself dead in front of him and throw. After that, he completely opens up and damn, this guy looks cool. He's like a beetle with a hard shell, but a red steaming core. Like an armored cannon beetle. Huh. Number 8 is the Pustool. Although I guess not technically a boss, it only appears once in the games. So that counts, right? This guy, I hated it as a child. Ugh. Basically, their gimmick was being passive-aggressive. It won't attack you directly. Instead, it will stop and release spores around it, which don't harm you. So what's the big deal? Well, it doesn't harm you, but it does affect the Pikmin. This is your first voyage onto the planet, and you've picked up that these Pikmin are your friends. They will protect and fight for you, but the Pustool changes this. It brainwashes them. These Pikmin are no longer your children, they belong to the Pustool. Get close to them now and bang, they will latch onto you ruthlessly and beat you until you are nothing but a lifeless corpse, another victim to this violent nature. They will giggle maniacally to your pain, and even if you were selfless enough to think, hey, at least they will live prosperous lives. Nope, if they kill you, they die too. I guess the Pikmin can't handle having their brains rewired. Screw you, Pustool. Screw you. Number 7, we have... Excuse me. Number 7, we have... Excuse you. Wait, what? The Ranging Boister. It just... What even is it? It has a slug-like torso and some kind of gill berry thing on its back. Its eyes glow the same colour of anything it sees and likes, such as the captain's light beacons, while its tongue just vibrates so fast and it looks like there are 7 of them. And it has this call that sounds like a cow! How's that for creativity? God. That being said, battle-wise it's not too spectacular. Since it targets captains only, you can easily trick it by constantly swapping between Onima and Louie, who is now available in Pikmin 2, so that it stays still long enough to throw Pikmin onto its gill. But God, the amalgamation this thing has going is just... Let's move on. Number 6 is a sand-belching Meerslug, and this guy just blew me away. Pikmin 3 seems to have the best battle scenes in the franchise, just through how the arenas are so interactive. Such as in this case, the Meerslug has the ability to mold the scene to however it wishes, and you have to work your way around this. Okay, so it hides under the sand, that's all fine and dandy. Just go to where he moves on the arena and then he'll pop up and attack it, and oh God, it goes down. There we go, now you're above ground and I can wait, are those rocks? This wasn't in the trailer. Okay, I have some Pikmin I should probably pluck since they're being crushed and into the ground, but it's okay. So now it's what, spiding around? What is it, Dizzy or something? Oh, Oh! This boss is just spectacular in battle. The fact that it can literally make the entire arena a pit of doom is just quite the sight to see. Oh, and plot twist, he's massive under all of that. Number 5 is the Smoky Proc. You don't even need to touch this guy. Your radar says there's nothing of importance here, but you can't help yourself. You're curious. What is inside that egg? Inside is the hardest creature in Pikmin 1, the Smoky Proc. It looks like some kind of wollywog frog, but made of poison. Touch its trail, insta-death. But it doesn't attack you. Oh no, it's smarter than that. It makes a beeline straight to the onions, the home of the Pikmin population. It will then cool them and force them to be chewed and poisoned. If you defeat this one with no deaths, props to you. Rumour has it that this egg belonged to the Mamuta. How unfitting. What a weird coincidence this pattern of land surrounding the egg is replicated in the final area of Pikmin 3. Once the beast is defeated, you aren't rewarded with a ship part. Nope, you are given an orb. And what does this do? Well, give it to your Pikmin companions and boom! 100 new Pikmin are now yours to keep. A whole new generation of Pikmin types of your choosing. How's that for a 1-up? Number 4 is the man at legs. Wait, machinery? I thought this was a natural environment. Haven't humans been dead for thousands of years? It says that this is an amalgamation of a spider and some kind of machinery. So how bad can it be? It has a gun! The man at legs is one of my favourite creatures because it's so out of place and unique, and its weapon of choice really changes the battlefield. For once, you are truly at a disadvantage. Sure, everything's always been bigger than you, but this thing keeps you away. When it is attacking, you stand back. Luckily for you, there are a multitude of barriers to seek protection from, and once it's down, man is it satisfactory. Factory. But you gotta wonder, how does a thing like this really come into existence? Ah well, time to go into the top 3. Number 3 belongs to the leader of the Bulblax Kingdom. Oh no, not the Emperor Bulblax. We all know he's a pushover. The Empress Bulblax, the queen that is all. You may have a furious tongue, sir, but no one wants to get flattered by this pregnant worm. Oh, didn't you know? She's pregnant. These babies play a strong role in actually catching you off guard. You wouldn't think it, but their eating attack is quite violent. Seriously quick. I guess it's because they don't chew or something. But we're not here for these guys. We're here for Tubba Blubber over here. First of all, she fills most of the arena. This is her territory. God knows how she got here, so you're already at a disadvantage spatially. But then, when you get her mad, she rolls about and flattens anything in her way. And I mean anything. Talk about a temper tantrum. And if you weren't expecting it, then prepare to lose about 80% of your Pikmin. She is a classic case of a battle you really need patience for. There's a sequence to this. You can't just run in Pikmin are flying. Well, you could. You wouldn't be very successful. What I like most about this though is how she improves. When you originally meet her, she just rolls around, and the fact that she has babies the second time really shocks you and changes a lot of the battle, since you have to fight off multiple things at once, which may put your Pikmin in an unsafe location. Also anatomy. You suddenly realize her anatomy. Number 2 is held by none other than the Quaggled Maya. This battle is the definition of epic. Seriously, it has pretty much everything. Surprise, shock, story, interactivity, size, power, and a satisfying death. To start off, the arena is just muddy and gross, but there's a crystal in the middle and you have a strange urge to destroy it. Once you do, it awakens. Big deal, but you didn't expect it to be that big? Holy mother! Its feet are so massive and heavy that it literally squishes the mud and reveals bodies of water. Oh yeah, water. Suddenly your movements is limited severely. You have to find your path around the water, avoiding the water, and somehow get in there and bash its brains in. Oh, have I mentioned how big it is? I don't think I've mentioned how big it is. It's really big. Really big. There used to be rumours before we saw it in action that you would fight it on top of it while standing. And you can do this, though it will lift its legs so that you will fall off. Bit of a shame. But this boss fight truly blew me away. It's just so perfect as a battle, though it took me months to realise it only had 3 legs, not 4. And now, the final one. The best boss in the Pikmin franchise according to me. The Water Wraith. I think everyone who has experienced this can agree with me that this is the most memorable and powerful bosses. I mean, the situation around it doesn't just make you think of it as a fight and forget scenario. Oh no. The Water Wraith's home is in the submerged castle, the most ruthless cave in Pikmin 2. To start off, the first floor is hard. There's fire everywhere, and you only have blue Pikmin. When you go to the second sub-level, then things only get worse. The water wave is not limited to its own sub-level or arena. Oh no, it will appear now. Sub-level 2. It will rain down out of nowhere and chase you. In this form, it is invincible and insta-death. You can do nothing against it, so you run fast. Good luck collecting all the treasure here while you're at it, and the chase doesn't stop at sub-level 2. It will continue to follow you right down to the very bottom of the cave. So now you're at the bottom, you're cornered. Luckily, you now have the purple Pikmin in your arsenal, and the thud sound they make terrifies the water wraith, to the point where it will solidify and become vulnerable to your attacks. This is your moment. After sub-levels of fear and panic, now it's the water wraith's turn to run, and it does so. Even when you defeat it, it breaks the game's own rules and runs. It doesn't die. Listen, even the music is confused. It runs away like a coward, and you have to hunt it down and destroy it once and for all. And when it's finally over, it is so satisfying. Was the panic worth the battle? Probably. Will you remember this? Oh, definitely. And that is the end of my top 10 Pikmin bosses. Of course, there are some honourable mentions which are as follows: the Snagrit, the Titan Dweevil, the Beady Longlegs, the Plasm Wraith, and the Segmented Crawster. And that is where I will end it off, so if you have any other contributions, feel free to type them down. And while I'm here, if you'd like to donate some animations for numbers for future top 10s, feel free to do those as well, though I don't know quite how we'll do that since there is no YouTube inbox anymore. Maybe Twitter? Ah well, we'll cross that bridge when our Pikmin build it. For now, I'm off, so my name's been Daz, you didn't really care, and I'll see you in a bit.